Welcome back to Jennifer Broussard Art. Today I want to show you how to easily mount a painting onto a wood panel for a no-frame display. Okay, I'm going to get started by removing all of the packing material from the cradle board. I have this stuff. It is a double tack mounting film. It's called Graphics Double Tack Mounting Film. I have an 18 by 24 inch sheet. I got it from Blick Art Materials and it cost $7.06. So the idea is that both sides of it are tacky. You take this piece off. It's like a double-sided sticker. I'm going to lay it down flat onto the table. Ooh, it is really sticky. And I'm going to put the board on it face down. I did cut it a little bit bigger than it needs to be, about 1/4 inch on each side, maybe a little less than that. I don't think that's going to work. I'm going to lay the tacky paper on top of the cradle board. Start on the right and just make sure that it's all, I think it might be a little crooked. I'm going to start like this. And now I'm going to use this wedge to make sure that it is really on here. And I'm seeing that the wood right here is not completely covered. Okay. Maybe cut it a little bigger than I did. I did about 1/4 inch bigger. I did 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. I probably should have done 5 1/2 by 7 1/2. Okay, now I can do this. I've got it on here. I'm going to use the wedge to make sure it all sticks and there are no air bubbles. I like this wedge because it has a little give. I think also a plastic card would work. Okay. And now once you have it all on there, you can peel off this other side. It took a hot minute, but I got the edge off. Now I'm going to take this whole piece off and I have the sticky side to put my painting on. So now I'm going to make sure that I get my painting on here exactly right, because it is exactly 5 by 7 inches. And I did measure, and it looks like it's a little smaller than the cradle board. They were both 5 by 7, so you really have to be precise. I'm okay if a little bit of cradle board shows on either side, as long as it's even. Okay, now once your paper gets on there, it's not coming off. Okay, now I'm going to take this paper and put it over this so that my wedge will glide across the painting. To the bottom. Okay, now I really like how that is. I have a little overhang. So I'm going to flip it over and cut it off. I'm using this box cutter knife. It's like a craft knife. And I have it on top of just the back of a notebook. And I'm going to now just trim off this little bit of extra. I probably should have gone twice. Do it again. There it goes. Get this off. And let's see. There's some sticky stuff hanging off this side. No painting, but just the sticky stuff. Okay, and it stayed there. Nothing here. Yeah, right there. Okay, and then there is some sticky stuff on this side. And it just stayed there. And I have a perfect edge to now put the Dorland's wax on. Now, because my paper is slightly smaller than the cradle board, the sticky stuff is sticky, and I'm going to try to get it off. I'm using the painting as my guide to cut it, and there it goes. I didn't practice this before the video, so you're getting the perspective of a newbie. Okay, there goes that piece. And I do have a little overhang now right here that I didn't notice. So you really have to be thorough. There. Got that little hair of, nope, didn't get it all. Okay, I don't have any sticky stuff, and the painting is perfectly situated on all of the edges. And now I'm going to finish it off with some Dorland's wax medium. I have a little scrap of t-shirt, cotton t-shirt, and just get some wax, and then you rub it all over the painting. I did this in an experiment, another painting playtime on, I had wrapped a frame, like a canvas frame. I had wrapped it in wet watercolor paper. And then when it was dry, I did a painting. And then when the painting was dry, I put this wax on it. I'm going to get off all the extra. I'm going to hold it from the bottom. And let's get a dry side. And I'm going to kind of go in circles. I want to make sure the whole painting gets some wax on it. And then you're supposed to let it dry for 24 hours and then buff it. Or you can put another layer on. Okay, I can see some texture. Okay, I'm going to be a little more methodical now and go up about 1 inch at a time in circular motion. Get it off the edges if there is any. I like that. I'll be back in 24 hours. It is the next day, and I am just going to buff the wax that we put on yesterday and see if I want to put on a second coat. I have a clean t-shirt. I don't know if you can tell if I move it around, but it looks pretty shiny. I think I am going to do a second coat too, because I kind of want it to be a little more finished, a little more shiny. I'll use the one from yesterday. I don't know how to explain it, but I can feel that it needs more when I'm putting this on. It doesn't feel smooth as I'm putting it on. It kind of feels like it needs another coat. Okay, 24 more hours and we'll buff that out. Okay, I have now added one more layer of wax and I buffed it, and then I added another layer. So I'm just going to buff this one out and show you how shiny it gets. I like to go in circles, and I'm using a little t-shirt, little piece of white t-shirt, cotton. Can you see how shiny that's getting? I think it also really helps that this is painted on hot press paper, so it's smooth already. Maybe the wax would bring out the texture, though, of cold press paper. I know this is not the only way to do this. I have seen other ways with other mediums, some special glues, and other, I don't know, some people spray paint this. I liked it looking natural. You could always put maybe some wood conditioner on it, like orange cleaner. There's so many possibilities for this. I just wanted to show the basics, and you can come up with other possibilities. So there I have it. Can you, yeah, look at that. That looks really good. I'm really happy with that. I'm going to put it up in my studio. So I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial and that you learned a little something. Please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching till the end. I'll see you in the next video.